Hi everybody, this is Hayden again, HaydenFL on Java Fibs, and I've performed the analysis with GNU, but just for fun, before I show it to you, take a guess. How well did I do? Did I play a good game? What do you think my rating was? Normally I claim to be a 1750 or so. I haven't looked, by the way. I haven't looked at my rating. Normally I claim to be a 1750 or so. Let's see how I did. Looks pretty good. Only one bad move, no red moves. Let's see on the analysis. This is the first time I'm looking at this. I'm hoping for a good rating, but I'm willing to accept constructive criticism. Casual player. 1292. 1292 is way worse than casual. That's terrible. I wonder why. Let's see. Obviously, there's no cube decisions. It says luck rating none and none, but you notice he got plus 10% and I got minus 21. Okay, that's kind of confusing. Okay, where were my bad moves? Right in the beginning. Now, green in the beginning, normally green means you didn't make much of, it didn't make much of a difference. But in the beginning, when you see the same configuration so often, why not memorize what the best move is? So here in the beginning, it says, look, 6-4, 8-2, 6-2. That's over here. Let's do a show. I did this one. That's pretty standard. I've always done that. And now I'm noticing GNU thinks I should have made my checker run. I do like, obviously, a 6-5, but even if I make it to the point before, I do like that move, because the only way I can be gotten is with a 2. It's 11 and 36, and then I'm easily going to escape right in the beginning, and that really sets up an advantage. So I got a 36 minus 11. 25 and 36 chance of having a real advantage going into the second move. But I did say I put up the 2 point here. Okay. So anyway, let's go back to my move, show, and what did I do the next time? 5-4. Okay, and this is a pretty common move. Whenever there's only 2 on the 8 point, only 2 chips, I typically am very willing to send one down to the 8 point, because then you're not leaving a man open if you eventually move him into your inner board. GNU didn't like that at all. First, let's show what I did. Oh, it's way down here. I did that, and that's what I usually do, actually. GNU said, no, do this. Do move a guy down, but advance him too, and try to set up your 5 point. And I found that I get burned that way, and I spend the half the game. Now that these, I have 2 checkers open in the inner board, I spend half the game getting knocked back to the bar and bringing the one guy in and never getting to set anything up, never getting anything moving. I think GNU says it's okay because the opponent, the white checkers, aren't set up to do anything. The only thing he can really do that would be a good move in this situation is a 3-1 on the next move. So anyway, I did the 5-4. And then in the third roll, I also didn't perform well. I got knocked back by his 4-2. And so the next one I thought was pretty obvious, to set up an advanced anchor. I even talked about that during the game. I did this. Set up an advanced anchor. I was pretty happy with it, actually. GNU said no. take the 3, and knock him back. And probably that was the superior move. So what happened? I'm already losing, partly because of my own errors. The next move, I got pretty excited with my 13-5. I talked about that quite a bit during the game. Knock him back, and that could be it. I'm behind here, 45% chance of winning, but it really could have turned around. And let's see what happened. It didn't turn around. He got double ones. He brought his guy in. He knocked me back, and now I have no 13 point, no place to run to for these three guys on my opponent's inner board, and he's up 68%. So I went from 45% chance of winning to 68. So I got 32% chance when I went down just with that move. That was the killer move. I was behind from then on. I was doing forced moves. It was really terrible here. See, I went down. My next move, a 4-6. I had a 26% chance of winning. Went down to 17. I forgot what I was saying. I was giving a 10% chance of winning when I was over here. Maybe. Or maybe here. I said, oh, I had about a 10% chance of winning. GNU was more optimistic than me. He said 28%. After I did that whole exchange with just trying to get my guys off the bar. Okay, 28 is still possible. If there was a double, you'd take it. Okay, here, 4-1. What should I do? I thought there were no good moves here. I didn't want to open up the opponent's 4-point. The opponent's 2-point. I couldn't move this guy. That would be ideal to get a 5 or 6. So I felt I have to do something here. I moved this guy all the way in. He says doubtful. He likes 7-3. Let's show it. GNU wishes that I made this move. Saying, who cares that you got 2 guys open? Your opponent can't get you, and it's a good setup for later, and you're going to need it because you're going to need to pin your opponent on the bar in order to win. And that was even a remote thing. Double 3s. Another bad move. We focus on my bad moves because my good moves are not interesting. 7-1. Cover. And 7-4. I still think that's a good move. What does GNU think? Instead, he says I should have moved. I should again have tried to set up the inner board. That was the priority to GNU. 2 guys open. Who cares? He says. I didn't do it. And then from there on, let's see where it collapses. Pretty much right away. %. See that double 6? Remember I said normally that's a good move, but this time it wasn't. I went from an 8% chance of winning, and then I got a double 6, and I was down to 1. The game was over at this point. So that's the deal. My takeaway from this is when you're far behind, you don't care about open checkers. You got to set up your inner board so you can pin your opponent when you do get the chance. Have a nice day.